going to
Thank you, Chairman.
join us remotely.
I am here remotely. Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations to the 3 nominees who are before the committee. Forgive me for not being there in person. I wanted to ask all 3 of you, if I could, a little bit about juries. As district courts, one of your jobs will be to manage juries and to make sure where appropriate that plaintiffs get the access to a trial by jury. It's ordinarily fairly non-controversial. It's protected in the 7th Amendment, for instance. And it has a long history. The jury trial was one of the causes of war in the Declaration of Independence because the king had meddled with colonial juries. And one of my favorite comments about juries by Blackstone, whose commentaries were both famous and probably the single most read authority in that founding era, said that one of the purposes of the jury is to confound the encroachments of the powerful and wealthy citizens. And we do that with juries in a lot of ways. You can't tamper with a jury. They don't get picked until the case is before you. So it's hard for people to try to influence them. And if they tried, it would be sanctionable and likely criminal. And they're one time only. So it's hard to interfere with the institution. And their whole purpose is to provide even-handed justice. So if you are extremely powerful and wealthy, like say a ginormous corporation, and you're used to getting your way around Congress with armadas of lobbyists and campaign contributions, and you're used to being able to, march into the Oval Office with a friendly president and ask for big favors for your company and for your industry, it can be a little bit distressing to have to turn up in a courtroom before a jury and have no preeminence at all. To be standing there on exactly the same footing as the plaintiff who has brought his or her action against you. So for a lot of reasons, and with much activity by the Republican justices on the Supreme Court, the actual practice of jury trial has been whittled and whittled and whittled and whittled away. And in many cases, in many districts, the number of cases that actually go to jury trial is, in the single-digit percentages and in the low single-digit percentages. So with that background, I just want to ask each of you if you will do your best to try to make sure that trial by jury stays alive in your district, wherever it is appropriate, when you are presiding in that district court.
Certainly, Senator, I can start. The jury system is the foundation, or one of the foundations, to our democracy. I have myself handled a number of jury trials. I've handled about almost 100 trials, the most of which of those are, in fact, jury trials. And when the jury gathers in my courtroom, the very first day of voir dire, I do emphasize the importance of our jury system and that their role in our democracy to serve in the jury system. So certainly I try to encourage all jurors that it is their duty as a United States citizen to serve in that capacity. And I try to encourage them not to get out of jury duty, which most of them want to, but certainly I emphasize to them the importance of the jury system. And I will, as if I am so fortunate enough to be confirmed to the United States District Court, will ensure that that jury system is, of course, utilized and open to all litigants in my court pursuant to the law.
Something special and something distinctly American happens in a jury room, doesn't it? Can I ask the other 2 nominees to comment briefly?
Certainly, Senator. I agree with Judge Sykes in the foundational aspect of a jury and in your observation that it is a great equalizer. I will do my best to preserve every aspect of that if I'm fortunate to be confirmed, not only because of the role of a jury in fact-finding, et cetera, procedurally, but because juries provide, in a civil context, important transparency and enhance the public integrity in the system. And I do believe that the involvement of our citizenry in the administration of justice and in resolving disputes is very valuable. I will also say that I have observed in almost every instance that everyone who has served on a jury does so with the utmost sense of responsibility and does so to the best of their ability.
And last words, Magistrate Judge Cato.
Thank you, Senator. I, like Judge Sykes, also am involved when jurors come in, and I certainly impress upon them just what a unique system we have and how fortunate we are to have a system where members of the community sit in judgment of cases, criminal cases, as well as multi-million-dollar civil cases. And so I certainly concur with everything that's been said, and I concur with you that this is something that's uniquely American and so important that it's in our Bill of Rights. And so we all need to work to preserve that.
Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator